Hey friends, and welcome back to another session of technical analysis on the natural gas markets. Like always, let's take a step back and let's try and review what did we see on the charts in the last week, and then we will try and predict the potential moves which we can see in the upcoming week, that is week commencing the 22nd of April. So I have the charts of natural gas open here on a hourly time frame here. So let's see what we'll just go back first to the previous week, and we'll see what did we see in terms of price action, and then we will try and see the potential moves for the next week or the upcoming week. So we are on 1 hour time frame here. Let me just get the charts a bit zoomed out. So if you look at this particular zone here, clearly seen either this zone is working as a support or resistance. So it was working as a support back here when it was above the zone, and now after it's below, the price action is below the zone, it's working as a resistance. You can clearly see the price trying to break out here but getting rejected. Similarly, you see here the price trying to break out, rejected, and again here, and we are here at the moment. But looking at this one, so let me just get a trend line here and just do something like this. There you go. And if I do another trend here and then try to do something like this, there you go. So this is clearly a falling wedge, not a textbook like falling wedge. Of course, you would rarely find textbook like patterns on the real time charts, but this is a falling wedge. As we can see here, the price did try to break out here, but was rejected. Again, similar action tried to break out here, was rejected. Finally the price broke out here, and then you can see a follow on in the same direction, clearly saying that the price ready to move up. So this is what we saw last week, and then eventually we have the price closed here. So this is on an hour time frame. Let me get rid of this falling wedge, and if you look closer, I'm just gonna zoom in here now, just try to put it. So this section here, it clearly gives us a bullish pattern here. So if I take a path here, there you go. So, and I'm sure you guys will be able to identify this pattern here now. So this is clearly a inverted head and shoulders pattern. Now if you look at this particular section here, it did try to break out of this, but the breakout was not successful here. You see the very next candle getting rejected, and then you see the follow on as well, but then the price still struggling at this particular range or zone. Now if you look at this one, I'm just gonna put another zone here. So if I let me take a rectangle here, and this is the zone basically I'm interested in. Okay, roughly around this zone, so let me put it as a green zone here. So this is a support zone at the moment, which is supporting the price. You can clearly see the price getting supported here. Before it was a resistance zone. Can you if you can see here, and then and then the price clearly getting supported here. Now as long as we are above this zone, roughly I would say here, roughly 1.72. As long as we are above the zone, we are bullish. This pattern is still intact. As soon as we break this 1.7 ish zone, then this pattern fails or becomes invalid. Because if you know the patterns, how these patterns work, roughly the stop loss is, or roughly the stop loss is the shoulders. If you want to learn the pattern in more depth, there is a separate video on the channel for inverted head and shoulders or head and shoulders. You can go and have a look. I've clearly detailed in the psychology, the way to trade the pattern, what one should look for target, or where one should look to keep the stop loss when the pattern is invalid, and all necessary things in that particular video. So you can go back and refer to that video. Saying that, coming back to this, so this is the zone, roughly 1.7 ish, 71 ish, I would say. If we have a close, an hourly close, and then get a follow on after that, another candle, a bearish candle, then this pattern becomes invalid. So then this is no longer a bullish pattern. Then the price can go in either direction. But let's see how we basically see this on the open, or let's see how we see this price action on Monday. But saying this, if this plays out, then I'm looking for a price roughly around 1.9 ish. But again, based on how this zone supports here. So that was inverted head and shoulder. Let me get this out of the way, and then just gonna check with the fib here. What is the fib is telling? So look at this. So if for this swing, roughly the fib the price is getting supported at the 0.5. Now the 0.5 level is a very key level determining the trend. So it says that if this is uptrend, say for example, if this swing is uptrend, then the pullback can be up to 0.5. Saying that the 0.618 is a PRZ. It's it's gonna be a very strong support. So, but if this zone breaks the red line here, then then the price potentially trying to go down here, and that's the reason and if you look at the inverted head and shoulder pattern, even the shoulders or the zone which we marked was roughly around 1.71 ish. So it actually gives us another confluence that if this is not getting supported, or if price breaks this support, then the price is going to move down. But as long as this is holding the support, then there is every possibility that the price can move up. Saying that, I'm just going to want to give a disclaimer. This is not a buy or sell recommendation. This is purely for educational purposes. So even the fib says that this price is getting supported at the 0.5 level, which is again basically 0.5 is where the trend tries and tests the pullback, but PRZ is the 0.618. So that's the fib. Get this off the chart. If you remember, last week we did make a channel, and then we did make a symmetrical triangle as well. So this was the symmetrical triangle which we had last time. So again, as I said, this is again in making. So this is not a fully baked symmetrical triangle, fully baked channel at the moment. Looking at this now, I would rather want to make a triangle joining these 2 points, and from the top, I think something like this. So this is the symmetrical triangle at the moment, which I am trying to picture here. So let's see how this symmetrical triangle forms out. So we'll see in the coming weeks. Oops, sorry for that. Which we'll see in the coming weeks about the symmetrical triangle. Now next, I'm gonna get the channel back up here on an hourly time frame. So if I put in a parallel channel here, I mean, on an hourly time frame it's looking a bit of skewed, but once we have this on a bigger time frame, it might look better. So if I put the channel here, roughly around this, potentially, yeah. So this can be our channel again. As I just mentioned, this is still a half baked channel because we are still in the formation phase. Once we have a couple of more data points here on the chart, then probably we can be sure that what is the shape of the channel, or what are the the points on which the channel is getting built up. So at the moment it's just a half bake. We just want to make sure that we have more points and more confluences to define this as a channel. So this is on a hourly time frame. Let's go to the 4 hour, the 4 hours. So just to see if there are any clear signs, and then we'll go to see the daily as well. So on a 4 hour, yeah, it's a bit much clearer here. There you go. Still, yeah, it's a bit clearer here than the hourly, but yeah. So on the 4 hour, this is the symmetrical triangle which we are basically looking at. Now based on this symmetrical triangle, this top here has rejected here the price again. You've seen this, the inverted head and shoulder in an hourly time frame, but if you look at this 4 hour is clearly rejected here. There is a possibility that this can come down and test the the support of the symmetrical triangle. So resistance has rejected it. There is a possibility that we can break out from the resistance, or we can come back and retest this particular support, which can be roughly 1.68 or 1.7, based on how we open and based on how the price action moves when we are near this supporting trend line. This also, we did mention about this rising floor. So at the moment it does look like it is forming a rising floor, probably for a, I would say, looking at a bigger swing. We are, as I said, we are still at the initial phase of this particular swing, so we have to try and consider more data points on the chart before we can fully plot it. So that's on the 4 hour. If you go on the daily, we can see another more clarity here. There you go. So that's the channel which I'm looking at. This is what we are looking at based on the symmetrical triangle and the channel here. And so if you look at the daily price action, it is giving a bit of mixed signals, not 100% bullish or bearish. On the price action front, this is, if we consider this as a lower high, then it's making another a lower high here. No, sorry, a higher low. I'm sorry. If you're making a higher low here, and then another higher low here, and then another higher low here. So based on this, we can see the prices moving in the up, sort of a making up move. But if you look at here, this is the higher high, but this section, here, it's still not able to make the next higher high. So clearly says this is still not in a massive uptrend, I would say, but it's still not in a downtrend, because this prices are clearly making higher lows here. So there is a higher low here, a higher low here, and a higher low here, but the price here is here it is not able to break the higher high here. So if we break go past here, then probably we continue this trend. Based on this, I would say the markets at the moment bullish to sideways, not 100% bullish. We need to create or make another higher high as a confirmation that the market's ready to move in the upper direction. So that's basically what we are seeing on a daily. Last time, if you remember, we had this symmetrical triangle here, and but then, as I said, this is still in the early phase of formation, so we will just try and find more data points to plot it on the charts to see what exactly the patterns are forming. Saying that, do we see anything else here? Not really. That's basically from my side. I think that's for the week. Anything else? Nope, this was the double top which we discussed in the last week. This is the zone which we actually want to break to make a move in the upper direction, or showing more bullish momentum. Again, this is a symmetrical triangle. Price is trying to squeeze. We are gonna see a break in either direction. We don't know at the moment. High, either a upside or a downside. Potentially looking on the upside. The reason I'm saying is this is where the price is making the higher lows. That's the reason I'm potentially saying the price is gonna go move in the high direction. But again, as I said, these are markets. Anything and everything is possible. So probably wait for give some time to the markets to decide, and based on that, we can probably take our trades. Saying that, again, a disclaimer: this is not a buy or sell recommendation. This is only for educational purposes. That's it pretty much from my side for this week. If you find this helpful, please give us a thumbs up. Please share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.